Hello friends, I've decided to do a health journey update. On the channel you see the walking videos I've been producing, and all of that started from my desire to walk 60 minutes a day in an effort to lose weight. And that's still my goal. I still want to go there, but I've also come to learn that I need to move towards that with grace for what's going on with my body. You know, if it's crazy hot, crazy cold outside and the temperatures and that sort of thing. But I'm making progress. I'm now getting up to the 30-minute mark. But in addition to that, at the same time, we are doing an eating plan. It's a form of carb cycling, but it's a very small deficit, so it's a very long-term, slow weight loss plan. And in doing that and just taking stock of what's going on, our little smart scale is saying that my fat percentage on my body is 43, which, according to the little bit of research I've done, is very high and definitely outside of the healthy range. The top end of the healthy range that I saw was 31%. So, in addition to walking, in addition to watching what we're eating, I'm starting to include strength training in an effort to build muscle. And that all leads up to the big fancy word called body recomposition, which is basically you're losing fat and gaining muscle at the same time. And in that way, you're supposed to be able to protect your metabolism so that by the end of the process, you're not having to have massive calorie restrictions in order to maintain your weight, but the muscle requires more calories in order to sustain itself. So the more muscle you have, then the more you're able to eat. And also, you know, I'm out of the danger zones in terms of extra fat and the dangers it brings to the body and the diseases and all that stuff. And I would just like to feel strong and feel capable in my own body. And I don't know, maybe in junior high or late grade school, I might have had that feeling, but for the majority of my life, I haven't. And I'm a little bit tired of being so jiggly and feeling like any sort of actual strength requiring activity is very fatiguing and leaves me sore for an entire week. For example, on the 21st, we decided to start doing some strength training, and so we just surfed on YouTube, found a lower body workout for beginners, and by the end of even half of that routine, my legs were burning and they weren't functioning right anymore. And by the next Monday rolled around, I could barely walk. I was in extreme pain, and it's basically taken 4 or 5 days to come back to a sort of back to normal. And that's with intensive, you know, what do you call it? Interventions like Epsom salts and cold showers and massage and natural pain relievers and all that sort of thing. And also continuing to be active and not just sitting still and going, I hurt. So I'm really hoping that throughout this process, I'll get to a point where I can exercise and I'm not sore for that long. And I know some of that comes with just learning my body's tolerances and learning how far is too far to push myself. But this is all truly a big, wide, new world for me. So that's the update. It's not just walking. It's not just watching what we're eating, but it's now also including strength training. I don't know if we'll be recording the strength training and that sort of thing, but I'm sure I'll end up doing some update videos along the way. I suppose to end this video, I'll go ahead and do measurements of my body and put up some numbers that I'm currently at. Okay, so I found an app on at the App Store for Apple, and it's called Remeasure for Women or Remeasure for Men, and it's pretty extensive. You type in all your measurements for all the different parts. There were some of them I was like, why in the world do I care about the size of my palm or the size of my ankle? But upon thinking about it, it's helping them figure out your frame, if you have a small frame, medium frame, large frame, etc., because that's the bony parts of your body. So I was trying to think about how I could present this information where you're not just like getting bored with numbers. Well, there's still a lot of numbers, but maybe I can summarize it a little bit. But as of today, April 24th, 2024, well, as of yesterday, my weight was 200.2. And both this app and my scale agree that my BMI is 28.7, which ranks me as overweight, which, yay me, I'm not obese anymore, but still, it's overweight. My scale says 43.6 for fat percentage, but this app, according to all the measurements and like their calculations, says it's actually 40.6. But regardless, both of those are considered high and high risk. My scale estimates 24.4 muscle percentage, so I like to see those numbers change, so the fat go down and the muscle go up. There's a ton of measurements, and like I said, I don't know how to present that to you. So what I did was just add all the numbers up. And I can give you a grand total, and then over time I can say, hey, I went down so many inches, or I went up so many inches. And you know, that's going to happen to some degree because some places are going to shrink and some places are going to grow as I put muscle on and take fat off. So currently my grand total of inches is 512.625. Woohoo! It considers my frame to be medium. I am considered overweight, and it says I have a very high risk based on my waist circumference and a high risk based on my waist to height and waist to hip, which, like I said, that's what started this whole thing of me going, I think I need to work on adding muscle. Like I said, it estimated the fat to be a little bit less than the scale did, but regardless, they're still high. So that's where we're starting from, and I have all faith that if I continue exercising and continue strength training and continue eating well and increasing my protein, that I should see things change. And I just need to give myself grace, that if I keep taking one step forward, it'll make a difference. So often it's like when we did the leg exercises and I was in so much pain, I told Wes, this is why I don't exercise, or I haven't exercised before because of this pain. I can't operate for many days because of the pain. This time was better. I was still in a lot of pain. I was still slowed down by it, but I was, with a long-term goal in mind, I was willing to continue moving even a little bit, because I know that's helpful. So, it's another beginning. Let's see how it goes. Thank you for joining me today for this update. I hope you have a wonderful day. In the meantime, feel free to like and subscribe to follow along with this journey.